Hello everyone, Stephanie from Mrs. D's Corner here. I received a request to show you how I print out the emoji daily behavior monitoring form / the back to school, school to home communication notebook that I use with my students. It was a request that I share how to do this so that y'all can print them half sheet as well and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to show you everything from the computer first, then we're going to switch over and I'll show you the rest of how I put it together. When you download the folder from TPT or from the website shop, you're going to unzip your folder, and inside of your folder you're going to see these items. You're going to open up the daily behavior tracker. There is a little booklet in here that goes through the how-to, okay, and it does show you step by step how to make it, but this video also will serve that purpose. You're going to see two different PowerPoint resources or files in here. You need PowerPoint to open them and to be able to edit anything I'm going to show you. So what you're going to do is I'm going to pull up PowerPoint. So you have your cover. First thing you want to do though is choose which of the daily behavior trackers is going to fit your classroom schedule. So you might just have 2 students or 2 classes for a student, or 2 periods, 3, and it goes all the way up until you have these 8 different classes or periods or time frames throughout the day where you want to track behavior for a student, or maybe even just on-task behavior participation in certain classes. So what you're going to do is typically each one of these will be the same for each of your students, but it may look different, especially if you're at the high school level. Now you'll choose the one that you want. So I'm going to go with the one that has 6 just for the purpose of this example. And then the emojis are not editable, okay? So you cannot move those. However, you can change the text underneath to show, what each emoji stands for. You can change the text here of these. So I'm going to add in here, so I'm just going to make up a schedule off the top of my head. So we're going to do morning routine, maybe then we're going to go to specials, and then we're going to have ELA and reading. Then we're going to have, maybe we have math next, and then we can have science and social studies. And then maybe at the end of the day, it's just inclusion. Okay, that might be what this specific student schedule looks like. Again, I'm just winging it here to show you how I prep this. So what you're going to do to be able to create both on one sheet and do 4 per sheet, so front, back, 2 on each side, you have to delete all of these other ones. So if you are creating a student-specific daily behavior tracker, communication notebook for that student, you're going to want to save it as that student's name so that you can go back in here. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy. So all I did was, I'm on a Mac, but you're just going to copy and make 2 of the same slides. So you're going to have 2 identical slides. Then what you're going to do is you are going to hit, and you can't see the top of my screen, but you are going to save as, or you can do export, whichever version that you have. I'm going to throw it on my desktop, and I'm just going to put Stephanie's schedule 22-23. I'm going to save it as a PDF to my desktop. Now, I'm going to minimize this one because now I need to choose Stephanie's cover. Okay, so you have all of these different options here. There are 12 little kidlets that you can choose from. So I'm going to choose this one. This one's one of my favorites. And I'm going to delete the rest of them because I do color-coded notebooks. Okay, we have a color-coded classroom. So if you are going to print them all in the same color, you can leave them all here and copy and paste as many as you need for all of your students. So I'm going to put Stephanie's communication notebooks. I'm going to add her name here. If you want to make it bigger, you certainly can. Make it bold if you'd like. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to add in a blank slide. And you'll see why we need to do this here in a second. I'm going to export or save as a PDF. And then I'm just going to put Stephanie's cover. Export. All right. Now, what I need to do, I'm going to minimize this, is I'm going to open up the PDFs that I just created. And I'm going to make them so I can see all of the pages here. So what you're going to need to do, and this is how I do it. So again, this is Stephanie's schedule for this school year. It's 2 of the same exact page. When you go to print, you're going to do multiple, and you're going to do twos, okay? Now you want to make sure you can see your preview. If you're using Adobe Reader, you can see your preview here and you can see both of them. So you want to print two of them. If you want to print the border, you can, but you want to print two to a page, all right? Now you can change it up here if you want to do however you want to print it, but this is what you want to print. Now, if you're going to just print one at home and you're going to be using the school's copy machine to print front back, just print two of this copy. So I'm going to print, I'm actually going to print one because I'm printing it at home. And my printer, I'm not sure how to do like the front back. So I have to take it, print one page and then take it out and put the other page, but I'll show you here in a minute. So you're just going to print this front back like that. I'm going to print two just so that when you see me with the printer, I have two options and I can walk you through that as well. So we don't need to, it doesn't matter if you reverse pages or anything. None of this other stuff matters really, just the number of copies depending on how you're going to print, and then the multiple. So you want to make sure that there's 2 pages per sheet. Then you're just going to print. All right, that one is printing. Now you're going to go to the cover. And depending on if you're color coding your classroom or not, you want to make sure that you have that color in your printer, or if you're just going to print it in black and white so you can change out colors if needed throughout the school year, or however, whatever the situation may be. I'm just going to print it on white to show you how to do this for right now, but when you see me in the video here in a couple minutes, you will see me with a color-coded cover for Stephanie. So see, this is why, and remember when I told you to save it, I told you to leave a blank page, because when I color code in the classroom, only one of my students has that color unless we have to double up on colors. So for instance, if I had Stephanie and let's say Jackson was another student who was also going to be the same color as Stephanie, that's when I start labeling and putting their names on everything purposefully. I put their names on everything anyway. That's a great skill to have. You could have Jackson's here as the second page, but if you're just using one, it also works out this way, and I'll share with you why. So you have Stephanie's front cover here when you're printing the 2 pages, and then you have the back cover because we're going to cut it in half. So you're going to need a front cover and a back cover. I typically print this on color-coded cardstock, or so Astrobrights cardstock, and then I will laminate the cover. Okay, so when you see me again, you're going to see me with a colored paper cover and a back, and they're already going to be laminated. If you have questions about that, let me know, but that is pretty straightforward when it comes to printing on cardstock or printing on a colored piece of paper, and then also laminating. So I'm going to print just one copy of this. All I need is one copy, and then I'll see y'all in a minute with the printouts. All right, here with me again, we are going to finish prepping the back to school communication binder notebook. I call it the communication notebook from home to school. So what you should have already printed by this point is all of the sheets that you'll need. So I make these for every marking period, and I'll only do one cover. I'll swap them out. It doesn't take that much time, I promise. You'll see when we do it together here. So you want to have enough of these printed out for the marking period. So you're gonna have 4 per sheet. There's 5 school days in a week for most of us. And so you just want to make sure that you have enough. I just printed a couple here to show y'all how to prep these. And then you want to have your cover. Again, when you print it this way, you have a front and a back cover. So what we need to do now, and I don't have a paper slicer, so I am just going to use my best judgment here, is you want to cut all of the pieces of paper in half. So I'm going to fold one and then cut the rest in half. All right. We cut all of the piece of paper in half. I like to put all of the larger margins on this side so that the spiral can go here. What you're gonna do now is just send this through your binding machine, which you can't see mine here. When I do these, I like the coil binding machine because the students can't really pick them apart like the comb binding machine. So making sure you have a spiral ready as well. Then what you want to do is you want to do the same thing for your cover. I'm not going to cut around this at all. I'm just going to leave it like it is. So whether you are either going to print or copy or laminate, that's the word I was looking for. If you're going to laminate yours on a school laminator, you certainly can do that. I just used my at-home laminator really quick just so I could show y'all what this looks like. Again, I just folded this in half. It's probably not gonna be perfect, but that is okay. We're going to cut it. And I am going to put this through my True binding machine as well. Now I have my front and my back covers, okay, so you can see that I sent them through. I have all of my sheets here. Now I'm just gonna put them together, line them up, and send the spiral through. And then once you get your spirals through, you just want to make sure that you take the ends and bend them, or cut off the excess to bend them so that students can't unspiral them for you. And then this is what you're going to send home. So you're going to have a cover here. So if you want to print this on cardstock, you can color code it or have students choose their own color. Make sure that their names are on it. That way you can take this off and reuse the front and back cover each marking period. So at the beginning of the school year, I will make a whole bunch of copies of this double-sided 2-piece per side sheet, so I don't have to ever do it again. I'm also going to send them all through at the same time, so I do it at back to school time. So when I have to switch these out in the moment, because I'm always going to I always forget. That way I can just swap them out super easily, put a new cover on them. If you want to put a new cover on it each month, you can absolutely, or each marking period or semester, you can do that. You can also write on here semester 1, marking period 1, marking period 2, whichever it may be. And then I keep these for the school year just so that we have that access to the communication we had and all of that data for the rest of the school year and for that next IEP. This is how you prep the communication notebook between home and school. I hope this video was helpful. I'll talk to y'all soon.